Chapter 2 Interior of the Earth. Exercise is on page number 15 of your textbook. Question number 1. Tick the correct options in the box. A. There are 2 layers in the crust. Options: inner and outer crust, continental and oceanic crust, surface and oceanic crust, mantle and core. So the correct option is continental and oceanic crust. B. Which element is found in both mantle and crust? First, silica. Second, magnesium. Third, aluminium. Fourth, iron. The answer is silica. C. Which of these minerals are found in the core of the earth? First, iron magnesium. Second, magnesium nickel. Third, aluminium iron. Fourth, iron nickel. The answer is iron nickel. D. The inner core is in which state? First, gaseous state. Second, solid state. Third, semi-solid state. So the answer is solid state. E. The outer core is made up of first, iron. Second, gold. Third, hydrogen. Fourth, oxygen. The answer is first, iron. F. The layer of the earth on which we live. First, mantle. Second, core. Third, crust. Fourth, continental crust. So the answer is third, crust. G. Which seismic waves can travel through liquid medium? First, primary waves. Second, secondary waves. Third, surface waves. Fourth, oceanic waves. So the answer is first, primary waves. Question number 2. Tell whether right or wrong. Correct the wrong statement. A. The density of various minerals is not the same in the interior of the earth. Answer: true. B. The core of the earth's interior is made up of hard rock. Answer: false. The core of the earth's interior is made up of solid metal. C. Secondary waves cannot pass through outer core. Answer: true. D. Continental crust is made up of silica and magnesium. Answer: false. Continental crust is made up of silica and aluminium. Question number 3. Answer the following. A. What are the 2 parts of the crust? What is the basis of classification? Answer. Point number 1. The uppermost layer of the earth's surface is in solid state and is called the crust. Point number 2. The thickness of the crust is not the same everywhere. On an average, it is 30 to 35 km thick. Third, the crust is divided into 2 sublayers, continental crust and oceanic crust. A. Continental crust. The continental crust mainly composed of silica and aluminium. Because of their high proportion in this layer, the layer was earlier known as Cl. B. Oceanic crust. This is the second layer of the crust. It is made up of silica and magnesium. It was earlier called Sima. B. Why is the upper mantle called asthenosphere? Point number 1. Mantle can be divided into 2 layers, upper and lower mantle. Point number 2. The upper layer is more in liquid state. Here, one finds magma chambers. Point number 3. It is through these chambers that magma comes out on the earth's surface during volcanic eruptions. Fourth, This layer is also known as asthenosphere. C. Magnetosphere of the Earth is a result of rotation. Explain. Point number 1. Magnetic field of the Earth is functional even outside the Earth's surface for quite a distance. Point number 2. As a result, a cover develops around the Earth because of the magnetic field. Point number 3. The Earth's atmosphere is protected from solar winds coming from the sun. Point number 4. The magnetic field thus developed around the Earth is called magnetosphere. Question number 4. Draw neat diagrams, label them and explain. First is interior of the Earth. So students, first you have to draw this diagram, neatly label them. This diagram is on page number 12 of your textbook, figure 2.2. Neatly you have to label them. And after that we have to explain this. So answer first, crust. The uppermost layer of the Earth's surface is in solid state and is called the crust. It can be divided into two sublayers. A. The continental crust, mainly composed of silica and aluminium, also known as Cl. B. The oceanic crust, mainly composed of silica and magnesium, also known as Sima. Point number 2. Mantle. It is just below the crust. Mantle can be divided into two layers. Upper layer is more in liquid state. Third, core. The part of the Earth's interior extending from the mantle up to the center of the Earth is the core. This layer is divided into outer core and inner core. B. Magnetic pole and equator. So this diagram you have to draw, which is on page number 12 of your textbook. Then explain. For answer point number 1. The magnetic field of a bar magnet is strongest at the north pole and south pole of the magnet. Point number 2. The force is weaker in the middle of the magnet and halfway between the pole and the center. Point number 3. The magnetic equator is the line where the inclination is 0. Point number 4. Earth's magnetic field is also known as geomagnetic field. Point number 5. The magnetic field is generated by electric current due to the motion of convection currents of molten iron in the Earth's outer core, driven by heat escaping from the core, a natural process called geodynamo. Point number 6. The Earth's magnetic field protects Earth from the solar winds. Question number 5. Give geographical reasons. A. There are discontinuities in the interior of the Earth. Answer. Point number 1. The Earth is formed of 3 concentric layers: the core, the mantle and the crust. Point number 2. The interior of the Earth is made up of different kinds of materials. Point number 3. Unique layers are formed according to their characteristic in the interior of the Earth. All those layers are separated from each other through transition zones called discontinuities. B. There is correlation between the density of metals and their location in the interior of the Earth. Answer. Point number 1. At high temperature, the materials in the interior will melt towards the center part of the Earth. Point number 2. Due to increase in pressure and presence of heavy metals like nickel and iron, the density of the Earth's layers also goes on increasing towards the center. Point number 3, the average density of the layer goes on increasing from crust to core. Point number 4, thus density of metals and their location in the interior of the earth is correlated. C. Mantle is the center of earthquake and volcanic eruptions. Answer. Point number 1. The upper mantle is in a liquid state with magma chambers. Point number 2. Magma comes out of these chambers during volcanic eruptions. Point number 3. This layer is also known as asthenosphere. Point number 4. The internal energy released due to endogenetic movements causes volcanic eruptions and earthquakes. D. The thickness of the crust below the continents is less as compared to oceans. Answer. Point number 1. Continental crusts are mainly composed of silica and aluminium. Because of their high proportion in this layer, the layer was earlier known as CL. The density of continental crust is 2.65 to 2.90 gram per centimeter cube. The thickness of this layer is approximately 30 kilometers. Point number 2, oceanic crust is the second layer of the crust. It is made up of silica and magnesium. It was earlier called SEMA. This layer is approximately 7 to 10 km thick. The density of this layer is 2.9 gram per centimeter cube to 3.3 gram per centimeter cube. E. Earth is protected because of the magnetosphere. Answer. Point number 1. Magnetic field of the earth is functional even outside the earth's surface for a quiet distance. Point number 2. As a result, a cover develops around the earth because of the magnetic field. Point number 3. The earth's atmosphere is protected from solar winds coming from the sun. Point number 4. The magnetic field thus developed around the earth is called magnetosphere. Point number 5. Magnetosphere is the fifth and important sphere of the earth.